Welcome to my completed isolation booth. This is it. After about 2.5 weeks worth of work, I am now officially saying that at least the first draft of the isolation booth is done. And with great pleasure, I'm going to walk you through and show you some of the features. We can start with the exterior. All I did is I had some extra curtain, and just to cover up the drywall, I just cut some of that curtain and laid it in place. I even put some of that curtain material on the door just to soften the reverberation produced by it. The other thing I did, you may have noticed on this window, there used to be this crosswork of wood across the front of it, across the window. I just removed that to improve the visibility. And then looking inside, past my reflection, you can see the inside of the booth. I'm going to go ahead and open the door and show you the features of the booth. This is the inside of the booth, and what you'll notice is some of the sound treatment features. I'm actually standing outside the booth shooting through the doorway here. Obvious things you'll notice is I've put curtains all across all 4 sides inside, and they are complete floor to ceiling length. Mentioned before the carpet that I've put on top of both the ceiling and the floor, and you'll recall that we used we put about a 5-degree tilt on that ceiling so it's not parallel with the floor. Final element I added are these 4 bass traps, and I put them in the corners. You can see I even have one down in this corner as well. And I did that because even though I had all the curtains up in the carpet, I was getting a little bit of bass boominess, and since I put those in, things look pretty good. One thing you'll notice is on the floor, there's nothing on the floor. So since this is a fairly small booth, real estate is really limited, I wanted to make sure I didn't have a music stand or a mic stand or anything to clutter the space, make me feel more claustrophobic. So you'll notice what I did is I've put all of the music stand and all the accessories, my reflection filter, on 2 poles. And this here is actually an expandable shower rod that goes from the ceiling all the way to the floor, and I just covered it with some curtains so that there wouldn't be any extra reflective surface. And then everything is connected to that. So I have a music stand here. This is connected to that shower rod. Over here, I have a little table that holds my headphones. I also have another smaller music stand that's holding my iPod, and I'll talk about that in a moment. My lighting is actually contained or held onto the back of that rod. Other things that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and close the door here. Other things that I have is, recall this little table that I built. The table is holding an LED lighting element here just to provide some ambient lighting. All the lighting in the room is in fact LED. So in order to reduce the in order to reduce the amount of heat that's produced, let's come inside, and I'm going to go ahead and close these curtains. You'll see there's some curtains here I can close so that you can get a sense of the sound now that's produced. And hopefully you can tell that the sound that's produced in this room is really quite dry, quite warm, and I'm really happy with it. And once I step close into this reflection filter next to the microphone, it is a very warm and dry sound. I'm very, very happy with that as well. Let me show you some of the controls that I've set up. On this little table here, I'll put my headphones on the ground. I have and I can go ahead and maybe I'll open this up so you can see. I needed to put a little recording light outside outside of the man cave, actually, so I could signal to my family, mostly to my kids, that I'm in here. Please hold it down or don't interrupt me. So if I flip this switch just outside the door, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. Well, maybe you can't see it. There's a little red light that comes on out there. And so I control that with this switch here. Some other controls I have my headphone mixer, which is back here. So I can have up to 4 headphones if I want to do some dialogue work. I also have an audio input control. So if I want to hear computer output, I click here. If I want to hear a monitor mix, I can click there. I've added one more switch right here. This is the switch to my ventilation system. And I actually have the ventilation system on now. And it's really quite quiet. I'll turn it off and see if you can hear how quiet it gets when it's off. That's with it off. I'll turn it on now. So I'm very happy with how quiet that ventilation system ended up to be, and it makes a huge difference. I can really feel, air circulating through. It makes it much, much, much more comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and close those curtains again. One other piece of equipment that I have in the cave here, or in the isolation booth, is an iPad. And I'm really excited about this because historically what I've done when I've made recordings is I've gone to my computer and then I'll click, record, and then I'll walk over to the recording space. I'll make the recording, make a couple of takes, and then I'll walk back out to the computer and hit stop and then play it back and see. And aside from a kind of a lot of rigmarole moving back and forth, there have been times in which I had the levels set incorrectly, and so the levels would be cooked, and so I wasted basically a lot of time. What I'm doing now is I'm using my iPad to connect remotely to my computer, and I'm using an application called Splashtop in order to do it. And this is really exciting. So you can, I don't know if you can see, this is an actual shot of my desktop, and from here I can hit record, I can hit play, I can monitor the levels, and it just brings a lot more efficiency to the whole recording experience. I'm very happy about that. So that is my isolation booth. I'm very happy with the results of it, and I thank everyone who's shown some interest in watching these videos. I'm also very thankful to all those who uploaded videos to give me great ideas on how to proceed and gave me the confidence to start this project. And I'm looking forward to jumping back on YouTube periodically to see what other projects people put together. So thank you for your interest. Bye-bye.